Yeah, school looks different this year than it did last year when districts had the option to pivot back and forth between remote learning and in-person learning. That was all thanks to an order from the governor, which expired in the spring, so districts can no longer pivot like they used to. But now the education commissioner says individual schools and classrooms can apply for special waivers from the state. The third week of school for students in Wilson County schools isn't a week of school at all. The district closing all week due to a strong surge in COVID cases and quarantines among teachers and students. District leaders say they're using stockpile days with no expectation of teaching or learning on the days off. It's one of several in the mid-state forced to shut down because of COVID. Warren County schools are closed all week. Coffee County schools will be closed the first half of the week, and 3 schools in Rutherford County are closed part of the week. Parents say last-minute closures put a strain on working parents.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult for a lot of parents, a lot of families.
Wilson County parent Caroline Cooper is one of 400 parents in a new group advocating for more COVID mitigation in classrooms to help keep children safe and learning in person.
I mean, it's hard not to be extremely frustrated as a parent, you know.
State law does not allow districts to pivot to remote learning like they did last school year. But the state education commissioner is now allowing some exceptions. Commissioner Penny Schwinn sent a letter to school leaders saying they can apply for waivers to switch to remote learning for individual schools and classrooms. But district-wide remote learning is still prohibited. The letter says this will allow administrators to be flexible while also preserving in-person learning as much as possible.
The testing center that was set up right outside of Nissan Stadium was once one of the largest of its kind in our state. Metro's coronavirus task force says they did about 153,000 tests. That's a lot at this site. But this testing site wrapped up in July. So now we're hearing from frustrated parents who are asking where can they get their child tested and quickly.
Christy Harris is a mother of 4, juggling 3 children who are possibly positive for COVID-19. Tonight, her biggest concern is testing availability.
All of the walk-in clinics that I drove by had people standing outside in lines in like 95, 98 degree weather. And I have 2 sick kids.
She tried Kroger, Walgreens, and CVS with no immediate luck. I even tried to see how many days it would take before I could get tested for COVID-19 at my closest pharmacy.
Finally, we have an opening on Wednesday, September 1st.
It started Monday evening, Tuesday, Wednesday. Here we are Thursday. This morning, I did get appointments for all 4 of us at the health department.
Days-long testing delays have Harris wondering what Williamson County leaders were thinking when they shut down the Ag Center testing site in March.
I assumed that all the testing sites were still up and running. I figured that I could just go and get it.
We asked the Williamson County Health Department if Harris could expect additional testing sites anytime soon. Director Kathy Montgomery told me they're offering drive-through COVID-19 testing Monday through Friday from 8 until 10:30 a.m. by appointment. But Montgomery never addressed my questions regarding the need for additional testing locations.
I live in East Nashville, and so I was just driving up and down Gallatin Avenue trying to go to a CVS or Walgreens.
For Paul Briscoe, the return of a Nissan Stadium testing site would be a welcomed resource.
We had one at Nissan Stadium. That's where I would be going.
Tonight, Mayor Cooper's office says along with increasing testing capacity at this drive-through site at the former Kmart on Murfreesboro Road, the Office of Emergency Management is working to finalize an additional testing location. OEM says the longer lines experienced at this location Monday and Tuesday have been corrected with additional staff and tents. They've also opened 8 lanes of testing and have 1 dedicated lane for vaccinations.
Congressman, I know you were in the Army. You have contacts in the Middle East. What are you hearing about what's going on the ground, and is the fighting still active?
Scott, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. I'm actually in Tennessee, so, I am hearing with friends that are on the ground there that there's still small arms fire. So the battle is still going on.
President Biden addressed the nation. I'm sure you saw it as we did. He said we won't be deterred. He said we'll find out who did this. We will hunt them down. We will make them pay. Your reaction to that and your level of confidence that that will actually happen quickly?
Yeah, I'm very disappointed in what the president has done in this withdrawal. The way the withdrawal has been executed, he's overridden the generals on a couple of occasions. One, decreasing the size of the force to 600, which made holding Bagram Airfield impossible. So they collapsed into Kabul. But what really bothers me and makes me doubt his capacity to lead is the false statements that quickly get corrected by his Secretary of State and Secretary of Defense. On 3 or 4 different occasions, he's put out blatantly false information, and either the president is being deceptive or he just doesn't know what's going on. So it creates a lot of doubt for me on whether or not the president's capable of leading.
It's been a tough couple of weeks for the U.S. reputation around the world. How damaging is this attack to our position on the world stage?
Now, that's a great question that very few people are asking. The long-term effects of this to our NATO allies, I mean, the G7 came out the other day and said, America, please stay past August 31st. And President Biden immediately responded and said, nope, we're not going to. NATO responded and came to our aid in Afghanistan after we were attacked. And here's our president basically saying, no, we know you were there, but we're leaving on the 31st. I think it's going to have a lot of, impact. And you think of Taiwan and other places in the Indo-Pacific with this issue with a rising China, they're all looking going, where's the American? Do we really trust them?